Good morning, everyone. So, if you are joining me for a replay, this is the No BS Business Women Q&A. I'm Corinne Crabtree. I own a business. I have the No BS weight loss program where we have over 12,000 members. I also have a podcast, Losing 100 Pounds with Corinne. And I built this business from a laptop, a couch, and zero experience, zero education, did not go to college. And now I run an 8-figure business helping women lose weight for the last time and to feel as amazing as they deserve. So, what we're going to do today is we are going to answer questions. I like to do this call once a month because I really want to be giving back to coaches and online entrepreneurs who are struggling with just figuring out what the fuck do you do? Like, how do you get started? Or I am started and I have things that I want to work on. So I'm going to check to see if we have questions, and we already do. So I'm going to get to reading those. Let me just tell you a couple things before we get started as people are coming in. Number one, if you are new to this Facebook Live, please make sure that you go over to nobsbusinesswomen.com, get on my wait list. Soon, we are going to not only be sending you motivational emails, but we have some little surprises that are coming out throughout the summer where I'm going to be offering a long-awaited business coaching type thing. I'm not going to go into the details today. Please do not populate with a bunch of questions. It is just wanting to get it in your ear that sometime around July, you can look forward to that. Those of you who love and adore everything I teach inside of No BS weight loss, and you are a coach certified through the Life Coach School, there will be another advanced certification so that you can learn from me how to be one of the best fucking weight loss coaches in the industry. I have 8 of them that I employ now who are amazing, and I will be teaching that again. We have had almost, believe 80 women already go through the program over the last year, and I have enjoyed every moment of it. Teaching is a passion of mine. So if you're certified through the Life Coach School and you're interested in that, you'll want to be on that wait list also. That is the place that you would get notified of that information. So without further ado, let's answer some questions. All right. Number 1 is, what is the first piece of tech you recommend for life coaches? The first piece of tech, good Lord, I would like your computer. Like, you're going to have a computer, at least a phone. I don't want y'all overthinking the tech part. For most of you, you really just need to get started on social. You might want to start a small website. And y'all, don't complicate this shit. This is the biggest mistake that I watch people do in business, which is they look at other businesses and they think, oh shit, I need all of that. No, you fucking don't. That is one of the things that I will be teaching when I have my offering. But like, one of the first things that I would do is I would make sure that you know which social media platform you like. And when I mean you like, it means you're comfortable on it. You're comfortable using it. Like Facebook, if you love video, then you'll want to maybe use Facebook because you can do Facebook Live. If you like writing more than you like being on camera, you might want to start with a website and a blog. Blogs are still doing really well out there. But if I was going to say anything, it would be, I would get on social media first, because this does not mean, this is the thing about social media. This is what I watch y'all do. I was coaching somebody on it the other day. You're going to get uber nervous. You're not going to want to go Facebook Live. You're going to be afraid you're going to create a post and the world is going to see me. I'm going to be so exposed, like a fucking lobster on a rock somewhere, roasted. No one's going to hear your shit at first. Do you know why you start a social media channel in the beginning? So that you can practice your janky ass shit. So you can get over your nervousness. So you can get over your hurdles. No one fucking cares about you in the beginning. You don't just like start a Facebook page and suddenly have thousands of followers. No one goes viral. The only thing that goes viral is like cat videos, babies laughing. Y'all don't need to worry at all about tons of people hearing you. What you do need to do, though, is if you want lots of people hearing you and you want people paying attention to you, number one, you have to actually be talking. That just has to happen. So we need to make sure we're creating some posts that we're doing those things. Number two, you have to do the janky stuff first. I would give my eye teeth if I could find my beginner crap so that all of you could see I had nothing special. I didn't even pay for a website until about 3 or 4 years in. I just created free websites. Blogs were just starting. It was the newness of the internet. I couldn't just Google what to do. I didn't have a Facebook Live or a YouTube to go and see what's the best strategy. Y'all are living in the age where you can figure this out simply. So many people have done it before you now. So get over your horse shit that this is like hard to do or whatever. What's hard to do is starting. And why it's hard to start is because of your shitty ass thoughts about no one's going to see me or everyone's going to see me or what if I say the wrong thing? What if they don't like me? That's the hard part. You getting over your drama. If you're going to be a coach and you are going to help people, the first thing you need to do is stop thinking about you and start thinking about them. Your client is who's important. Your insecurities, wub up for 20 minutes in the morning under a blanket, cry, and have your own back. And then you know what you do? You go to work for the rest of the damn day. That's what I do. I do worry about what people think about me. Before I got on this call, I was like, this shirt's not even been ironed. Like, well, they're going to think that you're some kind of business person who doesn't even iron their own clothes. I had all my shitty thoughts. But guess what I didn't do? Send an email out telling everybody, can't be here today because I'm worried what people going to think. Y'all, those who will thrive, not survive, but those who will thrive will care so much about their clients that when they feel insecure, they are willing to go forward anyway because some woman or some person is sitting there right now. I thought about this morning. I was thinking about what a long day I had, and it was about me. And then it dawned on me that somewhere in the world right now, lots of women are praying to God, literally praying that they can lose their weight, that they can overcome their struggle. And if the good Lord would just help them figure it out. And I just thought about that. Whatever niche you have, whatever you offer, someone is in pain and wishes you'd start a social media channel. They want you to go find them. They need you. They're in way more pain than you are over your nervousness and your fear about what you're putting out. So when it comes back to where should I start in tech? I would start with social. It is the cheapest. It doesn't cost you anything to create a page. It is there's thousands of books on it. You can follow people and they'll teach you everything you need to do, but you need one. And you need to start posting and getting over yourself and figuring out how you're going to talk to your person every day. And you answer their fucking questions. You ask them what questions they have. You follow other people in similar niches than you who are bigger than you. Look and see what their people are asking. Whatever their people are asking is the exact content you need to create for your social. That's where I would start. If I would start, I am starting all over with the business membership. Guess what my first thing was? We need to get social going. I need to start going Facebook Live. I'm not even posting regularly yet, but I knew one thing. I like going live. I'm good at going live. I can be reliable at going live. And that's where I began. And I hooked up an opt-in page. So when you create your social, for now, if you don't even want to do an opt-in page because you don't know how, at least have them DM you their email address and you'll send them something. And then eventually you can add them to an email list. But all I started with was literally a Facebook page and an Instagram account, going live on the Facebook, and I created an opt-in page. I don't even have a fancy email sequence yet. It's like, get on my wait list. You want to hear from me? That's where you got to go. I'm just telling everybody, look, I ain't got much going on right now, but you know what? When I do, you will not want to miss it. Like, none of you are going to want to miss it. So every single time I do one of these calls, it's like, go to NoBSBusinessWomen.com and get on the list. You never know when I'm going to send you a podcast that's a must listen to, not even my own. I have friends in the industry who are creating amazing podcasts, and I want to do Cliff Note versions for y'all and send it out and like share their goodness to help you. So know what it's like to start from the ground up. That's it. So don't get too worried about things. I have a coaching membership for moms at $47 a month. My thought is that it is slow financial growth. I believe firmly that this is the right model for my women, but financially it is slow. You are not having slow financial growth. You're not getting enough members in there. I'm $59 a month. Hello. Our price points are not far off. I have just kept plugging away at getting more members. It's all about, you need to figure out, how do you get more people to join? The money won't grow. Like your thought, this slow financial growth, that's what's going to stop you. You need to actually articulate what the real problem is. I don't have enough members for the amount of money I'd like to be making. How many members is that? How am I going to go and get those members? What am I going to be doing today to focus on growth of my membership? I am really, really, really a big proponent of asking the right questions of your membership, of your business. And so every single day I ask myself, I think about the number one goal that we have in the business. Number one goal is right now is making sure that our members are exquisitely happy. Like that is the goal, is to make sure that members feel like this is like, we have a saying inside of No BS. I want every member to say, this is the best fucking decision I ever made. And then once they've joined and had that thought, then in a couple of months, I want them to have this thought. This is the best money I ever spend on myself. We have that as our goal and our target. And every day when I'm planning my day, like here are the things on my calendar, here are the things I'll be doing today, I ask myself, what on my list today supports that? What action am I taking to make sure that members feel like this is the best money they ever fucking spend? Because when I'm doing that and I instruct a team to do that, guess what? We're all thinking about the number one goal. So it's really important for you to really think about, what am I thinking about each day? Member growth. How do I get more of these moms in my membership? Where am I talking to them every day? Like, what are all the things that I've not tried? And I do this also every quarter. My mentor, Brooke Steele, taught me this over at thelifecoachschool.com. And that is every quarter, I come up with 25 unique ways that we haven't tried yet to achieve whatever our number one goal for the quarter is. I do it every single time. It takes me a few days because I'm like, my brain wants to go to, oh, you've tried everything. You've tried so much. There's not that much you could try. It's like, no, I'm going to have 25 unique things. I may not do all of them. Some of them may even be garbage ideas. But you know what? I'm going to teach myself that there's always ways to solve the problem. I'm going to teach myself that I will try lots of different things. And through that, I come up with amazing ideas. Did you start your membership with a course attached to begin with? No, I did not have a course. I started my membership in 2007. It was not a technical membership until about 2008, 2009. I was doing one-to-one type coaching. And then I didn't even start my course until I think it was the fall of 2017 or early 2018. I believe it was the fall of 2017. That's when I actually put together a course. Otherwise, I didn't have a course. I had small little programs. Like I had little workbooks and little things. And we just did a lot of community, and I did a lot of one-off answering. This was back when I was a solopreneur. And what I realized is that I wanted to have a course that every member could go through, because they were saying when they came in that I just had so much stuff, they didn't know where to start and they didn't know what to do. So I created a course after working with people for a while, be like, all right, if I was going to teach every single person who joined like the basics, what would that be? And that's how I came up with my course. So it was years before I started that. I'm working on starting an educational coaching business. I have a PhD in music education. I am not life coach certified. Starting a podcast and have an amazing website. What advice do you have to gain clients? I mean, I think you're doing great. I don't think you need to be life coach certified if you're doing an educational coaching business. If you've got a podcast, an amazing website, just making sure that you're in your podcast, that you are mentioning always to go back to your website. Like if you have an opt-in freebie, just a way that podcast needs to promote the website. You know, the only reason why we start podcasts is so that we can talk about like how to help people, but in such a way that they know we're their person, that they look forward to hearing from us, and that we build trust and connection. And that podcast has to serve a purpose for the business. So you want to make sure that you're using the podcast to send them to your website where you have a really clear offer over there. I advise everyone, especially in the beginning, one offer. Please, y'all, don't fuck yourselves by having a bajillion, like, you can buy this, you can buy this, you can work with me this way, or this way, or this way, or this way. Nobody buys that shit. Trust me. Especially when you're new, you don't have the sales chops to be an Amazon life coach. Like, we are not the Amazon of life coaches. They do not need to go to your page and see your 400 different offers. You need to pick one, and you need to get fucking baller at selling it. And don't be afraid, like, well, if I pick one, then they won't have that. Like, what if they wanted to buy that? Then they're not your person. Because if you're wanting to build your business, you need to pick the offer that you can run and execute like a fucking boss for your clients, and that you feel super comfortable selling. That's a good offer. And thinking about, like, why do you want this one? So many of you throw out these $97 little courses and blah, 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 because you're afraid that nobody wants to pay you more money. Yet you know that if people hired you for, let's say, a $2,000 program, like one-on-one coaching, that you can change lives. I would get super comfortable with selling that $2,000 program because that's where you believe you can change lives. But I wouldn't offer a $97 one with this thought, in case they want to buy something else. That's not thinking about them. Like, that's thinking about like how you're going to get money. Trust me, when you put the human first, when you think about your person, so much so that you are in love with them, like I am with my clients, where in your mind, like, I almost can't talk about my clients at times without, like, I get choked up because I think about them. I know their pain. I interact with them. Like, I breathe them. If more of you would focus on like so identifying with your client, it will raise your courage. It will raise your willingness. It will raise your purpose. It will raise your commitment levels inside of yourself, so that when you have fear and you have doubts and you have insecurities, you have those feelings turned up just enough to say, like, you're not important enough to listen to. I hear you feel fear, doubt, and insecurity, but these people need me. I know how bad they need me. It's my job to go first. It's my job to find them. It's my job to help them. That's what being an entrepreneur is all about. Let's see. What's your favorite photographic app? for editing pics and making collages and such, I would probably use Canva. My team. So I always did our stuff in the very beginning. Like y'all, like even just, I'm talking 4 years ago, I was still up in the Canva making all of our graphics and stuff. Canva's come a long way. I would just say like my shit was janky in the beginning, but I was in there making it happen. I was in there making money, doing it myself, and it was easy to use. So Canva is a favorite of mine. I even used it last week. I wanted something quick. I didn't want to have to ask my team and wait. I hopped over into Canva, had something done in 20 minutes. There you go. As far as what I use on my phone, I use, there is one called WordSwag. I use that for photos and stuff. Like for quotes and things like that. It's a good app. There's another one I just started using. I think it's InShot. I've been using InShot. They have some neat stuff. You might want to check it out too. I mean, I'm just going to be really honest. I don't do as much of that stuff anymore because I, now have grown to doing it. But I will tell you this, for years and years and years, I was the graphic designer, content creator, proof editor. I put together the PDFs. I was the web designer. I was customer service. I was the face. I was everything. Paid the bills. Found the tax people. I did all the things in the business for a long, long time. I know it can be done. It is not an excuse. If you don't know what apps to use, here's what I would do. I would Google it. Y'all get better at going to YouTube and Google and typing in. There are just so many good articles out there now. There's tutorials on how to use all this stuff. Just like with InShot, I've been playing with it. I've been watching YouTube tutorials. I just sit here with my phone and watch YouTube and try to do what they do. YouTube is like going to college these days. I'm ready to launch my podcast. What do you think about my call to action of joining my EMS Women Only Facebook group? I do ask for their email for membership requests. I think it's fine. I test it. This is always my theory on things. Test. For some people, free Facebook groups work great. For some people, free Facebook groups do not work great. Here's the thing to know about a free Facebook group. It takes a while for it to get engaging. People do not go to Facebook to check in on their groups. Sorry, all of you. That's not what happens. They don't go to Facebook and think, oh, I need to go to my EMS Women's Only Facebook group, see what they're all talking about. Here's how people will use Facebook. You've got to be able to get into their feed. And when you have a small group and there's not a lot of people talking, it will be nearly impossible to crack the algorithm of Facebook, even if they've joined your small group. So you will need to not get freaked out when no one's fucking talking. Or maybe you get the first 50 people and it's like 3 hussies are always in there talking. That's great. Here's the truth. In a Facebook group, expect about 10% of the members to be active. 90% are not active. Some read. Some like. A few will comment. Rarely do they post. So you will need to come up with engaging content. You will need to come up with why that Facebook group is valuable, but don't put so much value in it that it takes it away from your offer. It needs to always be tying back to your offer. So you need to be thinking about whatever I'm doing in the Facebook group needs to tie to the offer. But what I watch a lot of people do, like your podcast needs to be about your offer, and it needs to be about teaching them. And then like, I wouldn't even talk about the Facebook group on the podcast. I would talk about where to go to, like, you could have an opt-in on your website that says, sign up here to join our free Facebook group. That could be your opt-in offer if you wanted to. That way you're for sure getting their email address. Because one of the things that's hard is when you start a Facebook group and you ask for their email address, you're going to be lucky if 20% of the people give it to you. And then you're going to start wanting to be like, oh, these people are signing up, but they're not asking for an email. They're not giving me the email address. So I don't know if I want to let them in. And now you're missing out on the opportunity to get their email address. So I would probably send them to an opt-in to opt in to get into your Facebook group, where you will send them an email with the link to join. That's probably how I would do it if it was me. I'm getting a podcast going without paid ads. How do you recommend I promote it? I'm on Instagram and have an email list, but both are small. For sure, be talking about it on both of those. Send an email every week out when your podcast launches. One of the other ways that you could promote your podcast, you can do Facebook Lives where you talk a little bit about what you talked about on the podcast, have people subscribe to it. You also can try to get on other people's podcasts that have complementary markets as you. There are, I think, 300,000 active podcasts right now or something along those lines. I forget. There's bajillions of podcasts, but there's about 300,000, I think, active at any time. You could look for other podcasts in your category where you might have a complementary niche. Like, for instance, I recently was on Jill Angie's Not Your Average Runner podcast. She is a life coach who specializes in helping women of every size learn how to run no matter what. And so in her market, they like my weight loss stuff because my weight loss stuff is very supportive of women at every size being able to create an eating lifestyle that they love. We don't set big goal weights. We don't give out calorie menus and all that stuff. We encourage people to design a life that they want to live and then let the weight loss come as they are getting better and better at their lifestyle. So I went on her podcast and she came on mine to talk about women at every size can learn how to run. And so we did one called The 4 Basics of Exercise. And that was really helpful for both of us because she had people on her list that I didn't have on mine. I had people on my list that she didn't have on hers. So you can, like, a lot of times I'll go on podcasts for moms with autism and talk about how to not eat your face off because your kid has autism. So you want to be looking at like complementary networks that you could promote your podcast on. That would be probably the easiest way to do it. I have a team of about 14 people, mixed salary and contractors. I have a wonderful team and I want to reward them well. Good for you. 2 questions. Do you recommend annual or quarterly bonuses based on performance metrics? That's a personal opinion. We don't do bonuses. I like to just do surprise and delights and pay my people well. So we tend to give way above the industry average type raises. I give my people 5 weeks of paid time off. Like one of the bonuses that I gave them recently was we had our camp where it's our big event of the year. I told my team, because they were working so hard, that, once we got to a certain number of people coming, they all got a $500 credit to go buy whatever clothes they wanted to wear at camp. So I just like to do more like surprise and delight things for a team versus having these structured things. One of the things that my husband and I, he used to work in corporate. We've had this discussion is with bonuses, you can have a team or team members that are performing really well, but maybe you don't hit some metrics that you agreed to with bonuses. It's almost like everybody gets punished. And so I like the idea of doing surprise and delights. I have one of my team members who just killed it on a project last year. Took her to Vegas for 3 days. Just called her up and said, hey, going to Vegas. You want to come? You deserve 3 days off. Paid for her whole trip. I had another team member that she completed a project. She did really well. She happens to be a triathlete, and she had a really old janky bike that she struggled with, and she's lost a bunch of weight, and I bought her a tri bike. I like to get, me personally, I like to give bonuses and gifts to team members where it says, I'm listening to you. Like, I think money is always fun. Trust me, I love money too. I think money is always great, but sometimes I like to be able to give things to people that also signals like, I am interested in you as a human and your human development and your human growth. And so that's just another way that we do it. I also have this limiting belief that if they know that I'm making 7 figures, all my staff will expect to be paid way more, or else they'll just go out and start their own coaching business. Well, let them. If that's their thought, here's my thought. I want everyone to know the success of our business so we can all keep growing together, because I'm going to grow people who provide extreme value. The way that I run my team, and my thought is, people on my team are dying to give me amazing results. I just need to be clear. I need to have good expectations and great values in my organization. And when I do those things, my people are like, I am all in on giving you results. I will pay people really well when I get great results. But this is the thing. If your fear is that they're going to go out and start their own coaching business, like, you're thinking about it wrong. I would rather my people quit if they're only there for the money and my pay structure. I want them there for a lot of different reasons. But it's my job to make sure that my people feel seen and heard, cared for, loved, compensated well, and that they know what an amazing group of individuals they are. And so we work really hard behind the scenes on making sure that we have done a lot of work in the last 2 to 3 years on helping our team members like know when they're doing an amazing job. We're trying to spotlight things that they're doing right. We're trying to make sure that we have a wins and kudos channel in Slack where we even get them to highlight each other doing outstanding things. I have way more reach via my Facebook personal profile than my Facebook business page, both in terms of followers and engagement. I post the same stuff to both just in case someone finds my page but isn't a friend already. Question, should I bother doing Facebook Lives in my page or do it on my profile where there's more reach than cross-post? The problem with your personal page, especially when you want to start running ads, is that if you are putting things on your personal page that are business related, Facebook frowns on that. You could get shut down. You could have your Facebook page removed, and you're going to need a Facebook business page in order to ever run ads. So I would, rather than doing on both, the main reason why you have more reach on your personal page is just because Facebook prioritizes personal pages. But that means, like, when you're posting on both, if I see it on your personal page first, why would I re-like it again on your business page? You're kind of you're like cutting yourself off the knees by doing it that way. It's like you're dissuading them from going to your business page. One of the things that I would do is I would post most of my content over on my business page. I would take one juicy piece of content every now and then, post it to your personal page with a call to action that they need to not only like that page, but they need to follow that page. That's like where you've got to really train them. And then if you do a video, I wouldn't post the video on my personal page. I would post that you talked in a video, do a screenshot of it, and then send them over there to watch it and link them to drive people to that business page. I'm trying to grow my email list with a freebie, but the growth is slow. What do you have to do to grow an audience? When you say one offer, does that apply to your freebie too? One freebie, test it for a while. So if you're like, one, we have to know, why is the growth slow? Is it because your freebie sucks and nobody wants it? Y'all, let's just be honest. Not every freebie you're going to offer is going to be great. I went through several versions of a freebie before I landed on my 3-part video series. And we're getting ready to create new freebies now. I've had this one for 3 years. It's starting to show in our marketing that it needs a refresh. It needs a new spin. It needs new things. So number one, freebies do get old for all of you who've been running one for a long time. But the main thing is you got to figure out, you may be in love with your freebie, but if lots of people are, let's say they're going to your website, they're clicking on it and they're not signing up, it could be it's not clear on how to sign up. It could be that the way you describe it on the page sucks. So you need to change the wording, need to change where the email address is. I will tell all of you, do not make your opt-in for your freebie confusing. When they land on it, you don't need to be, and you need to look at it on your phone, not on your fucking computer. Nobody uses their computer to sign up for shit. Everybody uses their phone, and they're standing at Kroger behind some woman with a toddler who's screaming, crying, and she's just like trying to burn time, praying to God that she can get out of this line fast enough. That's who's signing up for your offers. So you need to be in their mindset. You know what they don't want? Your fucking face first. They don't want to see a picture of you. They don't want to see 400 words describing what this freebie is. You know what they want to know? Where do I put my damn name in? Because if I've already gone over there, I'm already interested. A lot of you can like boost your engagement on your opt-ins simply by the first thing they see when they go to the page is enter your name here, email address, and a short, like no more than 5-word title. Like in the very beginning, keep that title tight and right. Most of you don't have enough skill yet to name something in a way that's super captivating or interesting. So I would go with simple, clear, and anybody would know what you are saying. Like 3 tips to not overeat. 3 tips to stop a screaming toddler. Like anything like that is better than some kind of clever crap. You in a kitchen looking like Martha Stewart. Like, no, keep it simple. All people need to do is give you the email address. Then you can get fancy, schmancy, say all the words, whatever you want to do in that first email. But that page needs to be like somebody's in a rush trying to sign up for my freebie. I don't want to slow them down 1 ounce. So the other thing about email freebies, so the first thing you want to do is you just want to make sure people can sign up. Could be that the freebie sucks. It's just not going well. It also could be like how you're getting people there. You're just not getting enough leads there. Like, where all are you marketing? How much time are you spending driving traffic to it? What all are you doing to drive traffic? How many other people in similar niches are you reaching out to tap into their audiences and stuff? Like you just need to troubleshoot what's going on here. And then whatever's going on is that's where you start. I would like to hire help this year, an assistant and a business coach. I've never hired anyone and want to learn about being a boss and managing people and about where to find somebody great. I've been told a little bit about Belay. What's your advice about managing people and hiring virtual or an in-person assistant? We hired our first in-person assistant from a place like Belay. So there are services out there that you totally can use and that they will get you someone great. All of our team members, unless it's some kind of very I would say all of our team members, even most of our contractors come somewhat through our membership, but we have some contractors that don't because it has a very specific something that we need. We hire from our membership. We hire from our email list. So a lot of times you have like great people in your market that would love to work for you, are very familiar with your brand. I just highly encourage looking at the market you have right now, posting on your own social media. And then if you want, then you could, move on. The big thing about hiring an assistant is be really clear about what you absolutely want. You get to customize that. What skills do you want them to have? What kind of stuff do you want them to know? And make sure that that is all clear. And when you hire an assistant, you need to be really clear and remind yourself it's going to take 6 months to a year for the two of you to get into a flow, because you're going to need to over communicate. You're going to need to give lots of feedback, and you're going to need to watch for this poison thought, which is what I've had in the past, which is like, they should just know this. Nobody knows shit until you tell them. Nobody's a mind reader. So when you hire that first assistant, you be ready to be really clear. And this will teach you as you grow as a team, how to be really clear in your instructions, how to really tell someone how to do something. But every time you teach them how to do one thing, it may seem slow in the beginning, but guess what? Now they know how to offload that one thing off your plate. As far as a business coach, there's lots of good business coaches out there. This summer, I'm probably going to, I don't even want to announce what I'm doing, but it's not going to be one-to-one, but it will be one to great. Let's just put it that way. But you could hire a business coach, and there are lots of good ones out there. You could go to the lifecoachschool.com, where they have a list of all kinds of coaches that in business coaches. I have a couple of friends that do business coaching. If you will email us at support@pnptribe.com. I have a couple of, tell us like specifically what kind of business coach you're looking for. And that way I can see if I know of someone that I can recommend. I don't want to say anybody out loud just because the business coaches I know all have very specific niches within business coaching. So it'd be dependent upon what you want. So just email us and they can get it to me. What new ideas do you recommend to increase engagement and participation with our members? I offer a 6-month coaching subscription for medical professionals. For example, private podcasts, small group coaching, a journal, etc. Yeah, well, it depends on what you're talking about with engagement. So just giving them a private podcast doesn't mean you're going to get more engagement. Just means you're going to give them a tool to make it easier to consume your information. So if you're talking engagement in terms of, are you talking about completing your course? Are you talking about engaging in your Facebook group? So if you want people to complete your course, that would have way more to do with making sure that your onboarding sequence is really good. If somebody joins, are you really clear on teaching them exactly the next steps and how to best use your membership and get through the course? If you're talking about community, that is like having a community strategy. I will give all of you who have a community a great podcast to start listening to. It's by my friend Shanna Lynn. She has been consulting with us for a while. She worked with Stu McLaren, but she has an amazing podcast. It is a gem. It is brand new, but even the first 8 episodes have been terrific. So it is called Community Creators with Shanna Lynn. Shana Lynn. I listen to it. I have my community team listen to it, and we actually work with Shanna. That's how good her podcast is. So if you are looking at ways to, with a membership, build community, even if for all group program coordinators, like if you are a group program person, that would be an amazing podcast to listen to. Another podcast that I really like for membership owners, where they talk a lot about community engagement and stuff, is the Membership Geeks podcast. They're also really good. They have a ton of episodes. You could also listen to that. How do you get over the fear of contacting people and getting through your message to a customer when I don't like talking to people? The best way to do that is to know, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show up on these calls and I'm going to be scared as shit. That's the best way to get over fear, is to take your fear with you and do it anyway. Most of y'all, what you're wanting to do is help me figure out how to have confidence first so I don't have to feel bad about talking to people. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to feel really shitty talking to people for a while until you get used to it, until your brain is like, oh, this isn't as bad as I thought. Nothing bad's happening to me. Your brain thinks you're going to get on a call with somebody and surely to God, you're going to die. It's called faux fear. There's real fear and then there's faux fear. Real fear is I am outside. Suddenly a puma comes running out from the tree line at 90 miles an hour to eat me. And I am draped in pork chops. That's real fear. Faux fear is, oh my God, I got to get on the phone and talk to someone. And they might even say no. You ain't gonna die. But your brain, guess what it does? It sends the exact same chemicals through your body. It's I'm going to get on the phone and the puma's coming. It's going to react exactly the same physically, but you have to remind yourself, nothing is really happening to me. I'm just scared of rejection. I'm probably going to get rejected some, but some will say yes too. There we go. That's just enough to tamp down balls ass, I'm only focused on what can go wrong fear to it's normal to be afraid. It's human reaction. I'm not used to selling my shit yet. Guess what? I'm going to have to sell my shit pretty fucking janky and get some no's. They're going to have to tell me why they don't want it. So the next time I get on a call, I don't say that same shit again. I say new shit based on what this person told me was. That's how we have to do it. I'd love to be like Corinne, the fairy godmother, and, you know, I don't have a wand, but we'll pretend my empty water bottle is, and wave my wand is like, entrepreneurs, you have it in you, and you can all go do it now. No. The only one that gets waved is the one where you've been rejected 10 or 12 times before you're like, oh, yeah, I should probably quit saying that. I said that one more time. They keep asking the same question. Probably should start talking about that. That's how you get over fear. You learn. Because when you're learning, can't be afraid. But you got to get on them calls. You got to do this shit. Any tips for creating compelling copy? Google compelling copy. I'm not joking. I got this the other day. Oh, wait, no, this was a program. But if you like, there are plenty of places out there that will give you basic copywriting strategies. Opt in. Like if somebody is trying to sell a copywriting service and they have an opt-in, guess what? Sign up for their shit. They're a professional. Get on their email list. Pay attention to their subject lines. What is their email structure? Find people you like reading their shit that you feel like, yeah, that's interesting to me. If it's interesting to you, it's probably going to be similar to what you want your writing style to be. Like, y'all, I am opted in to almost every free thing I can even think of. I read other, and I mean outside of my market, I read other people's copy and I study it. And I'm like, ooh, I love the way they did this in PS. Ooh, I love how they always start with a question that frames the problem. That's how you get better at copy and just writing. Writing, and keep your writing so that you can repurpose stuff. One of the things that we do is we keep everything that I ever post on social media. And then what my team does, I've been writing for years. We just keep it in a big database. And every now and then they'll say like, hey, we pulled like 20 things that you wrote about last year. Will you take a look and see, do you want it to be the same or do you want to refresh it? And I go through there, and because I've changed how I write over the last year, I refresh it. But I've got all those topics because there was a version of Corinne that sat down one day who had never wrote a Facebook post. I remember the day I joined Instagram. I am no different than all of you, except when I joined Facebook and Instagram, guess what? Nobody fucking taught us how to do it. You can go and read all this for free online. This is the amazing thing about the time that you're in now. You are unstoppable. You have unprecedented access to every tool you need to grow a business. You just need to figure out what it is that you're stalled on right now and Google and YouTube it. I promise you, that is all I was doing back in the day, except we just had Yahoo. We didn't even have the videos yet, or at least I didn't even know about YouTube yet. So it's possible. What was the biggest mindset shift for you from 6 figures to 7 figures and to 8 figures? Looking for some good higher level journal prompts or daily questions to raise my mindset. When I was in the 6, when I wanted to make over 7 figures, this is literally what I did every single day. I wrote, I will make 7 figures in like 20, I think it was 2017, if I'm not mistaken. I wrote that sentence down every single day. And then I made sure that whatever I planned that day had me doing something that I had thought about that would get me there. I sat and thought, like, every quarter I would sit and think like, all right, in order to make over $1 million this year, what do we need to do in our business? Like, what won't get us there? What will get us there? I wrote about it all the time. And that helped me stay in the mindset of, like, I was always thinking at a 7-figure level before I got there. The same happened with 8. I knew like the shift, there wasn't a mindset shift as much as there was like new skills shift. So when I went to seven figures, I didn't really have much of a team. I had like a couple people, but that was really it. When I was going to go from 7 to 8 figures, I knew that I had to learn how to have a team. I had to learn to not be the person who did all the work anymore. I had to learn how to let other people be smarter than me. I had to learn how to let other people do it 80% as good as I would, realizing that no one is like the biggest mindset shift I had when I went to 8 figures was no one will ever love this business like me, and they shouldn't. It's my business. The buck stops here. Expecting other people to love your business like you is ridiculous. And I did that for a long time and spiraled. It would cause me to be angry and frustrated. And so what I realized is that I want people to love my business, but I also know that it's my job to love it unconditionally. And when I really realized that, it allowed me to start thinking about my team and what their unique qualities were and how to best amplify them. I thought about I thought about who on the team needs attention, who on the team works better without me breathing down their neck. I learned that I was going to have to manage people differently, that I couldn't just manage people the way I wanted to, that I really had to start learning how to lead and manage my team in a way where I thought about them, just like I would think about my clients. Probably the other big mindset shift was just really understanding that we were going to be able to help as many women as we ever wanted to when I knew that I had 25 brains on my team, not just one. I spoke at a conference this past weekend for 1,600 life coaches, and I taught them all about decision making. And one of the things that I told them was that I've spent a lot of time still teaching my team how to make good but quick decisions. I'd rather them make more decisions and mistakes than to make less decisions, but do a few things perfectly. And that was hard for them. It was hard for me to watch them make mistakes. But I really learned that the better I got at teaching the people under me how to make decisions, then now we have 25 brains making amazing decisions with our core values, our mission in mind, and our goals in mind. You can't beat that. I could sit all day and my brain could never operate that well. And when I learned that my brain was here to steer us, but it wasn't designed to make all the decisions anymore. That part of my journey ended when I crossed 7 figures. The first, all the way up to 7 figures, I was the brain. My brain made all the decisions and I was really good at it. And that's what got me there. But then I had to turn and do this new thing. Last question. I just found out another life coach has the same program name as I do. Should I change mine? Even her website has similar copy to mine. Y'all, it does not fucking matter. You and one other human in the world have the same name. With the billions of people on the internets. Who gives a fuck? I teach people my method and tell them to go out and start. And guess what? They sound and look a lot like me. You know why? Because I just think there's a fuck ton of people in this world who need to lose weight. I don't need all of them. I just want 100,000 of them. And may the best woman win. This is the other thing that I think about. It's like, let them have the similar name. Let them have similar stuff. That doesn't mean that she can outmarket you. It doesn't mean that they're going to know how to get their Instagram. Hell, maybe you thought maybe she's sitting around feeling insecure too. First one to not feel insecure probably will win this race. But here's the thing. There's plenty out there for all of us. I believe that. in my soul. Humans are hurting right now. Humans are wanting what we have. And coaching is going to be the new therapy for the next 20 years. I promise you, for all of you that are in coaching, I want you to be thinking, we're the new therapy. People want someone to help them see their potential, overcome what's going on in their lives and stuff. A lot of people don't want to focus. Like, I've been in therapy before. It's super helpful, but I didn't want to diddle in my past anymore. I was tired of talking about what upsets me. I wanted to talk more about, like, here's what's upsetting me and how do I move forward? That was the missing component for me in therapy. I'm not saying all therapists like that, but the 10 that I've seen over the course of my lifetime, I just never felt like I would get relief in letting somebody hearing me. Because I don't want my therapist to feel bad. I am not down on y'all at all. I am a product of therapy. I think it's amazing. Therapy got me to functionality. Y'all know I've suffered with all kinds of depression and stuff in the past. Life coaching took me from functionality to being a fucking baller, to belief, to having my own back, to being able to set goals and truly go after them. So I think coaching will be the new therapy for the next 20 or so years. And there's plenty of people to go around. Please stop saying you're going to run out of people. You're not. As long as humans breathe, humans will hurt. Humans will need someone to help them with their emotional intelligence. And that's what we do as coaches. All right, y'all. NoBSBusinessWomen.com. Tell your friends, please. If you got value out of this Facebook, listen to how I close a Facebook for all of you who are like, how do you do this social media magic, Corinne? Here's how you do it. I only have like 130 people on here. You know how many people I get from my Facebook Lives for weight loss? Well over 1,000, at least. So here's what you do. You tell people, hey, I go live every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central Time on this page. Everyone, get your phone out. You are going to mark in your calendar for this date, May 10th, 10 a.m. Central Time. You're going to follow this page. And you're also going to say, notify me when this page goes live so that it gets into news feeds. That's how you get business pages to get into news feeds a little easier. Guess what else you're going to do? You're going to tell them where to go to give you an email address and why that's important. So I will tell you, NoBSBusinessWomen.com. You go there, you get on the list so that you never miss this live. You don't miss free things I send. Anything I'm ever going to offer, you'll get it. And you know me. I'm going to be dropping value in email pretty soon. And you ain't going to want to miss that shit. So don't be that asshole that's like, where'd you get that? Oh, yeah, I forgot to sign up for cringe shit. Don't be that person. Then you tell people, share on your page. If this was valuable and you want to share, sharing is caring. And the last thing is, if you know someone who needs to see this, you tag their ass and you tell them one thing you learned so that you solidify what you learned and they know why they should watch it. That's how you close a Facebook Live. And if you will watch this one more time, you'll see in the beginning how I open a Facebook Live. All right. Y'all have a good month. I'll see you next month. Bye, y'all.